All right, welcome. Well, today we are going to be making the ATAX game. And I showed you a demo in class. So what we're going to be looking really at is we are going to be trying to figure out how do we actually build this and what do we need to do to make sure that um, we can actually play the game. So today we are going to pretty much draw the board. We are going to be able to click places and it puts down a token. Now, we're not going to color the token. We're not going to play turns with this token. This is not going to be a game. This is literally getting the display working correctly today. So this is what I would like you guys to focus on Friday. So let's go ahead and do this and then you guys are going to go forward with it. Now, very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to worry about what is this game. So we're going to do extends JComponent, and we are going to implement a mouse listener. And that's going to be implements, and it'll be plural. All right, perfect. Now, when I do this, I need to make sure I hover over here and click on import. I need to do it again right here under import again. Perfect. Now, this right here is going to have ATAX, so we're going to do add unimplemented methods. Great. So now that we have this and we have our mouse click commands, we're going to make our JFrame. So just like how we did before, we're going to do JFrame frame equals new JFrame system.in. I don't know why I did system.in. I'm going crazy right now. We're going to do ATAX. And I'm actually going to do version 2.0 on here because I haven't written this since I wrote this in college over 12 years ago. So we're going to put the JFrame in here. We're going to do frame.set default close operation. We're going to do JFrame dot exit on close. We're going to do then frame dot set visible. We're going to say that's equal to true. We're going to do frame dot set size. And in this particular game, it needs to be 10 by 10. I could make everything 50 by 50, which sounds pretty good. I might be changing this later on, but I'm going to do 550 by 550. Actually, I think I want to make this 750. This way I have things on the side that I can do and control. But we'll take a look at that as we go forward. So 750 and 550, we're going to do frame.add, and we're going to do new ATAX game, and like that. And now we don't have to do anything with the main method. Now, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do the new ATAX game here. Put the constructor in. I'm also going to do a paint component in here just to make sure this works. Public void paint component graphics G, and I'm going to do G dot fill rectangle, and I'm going to do 0, 0, 50, 50. This way, make sure it works. Sometimes I learned earlier that visible and set size have to be in a particular order. So let's see if this works. I see one black square. Perfect. So this is working. So let's do a few things. Right now we're going to do add mouse listener here. And I'm going to make that equal to this. And I'm going to start putting my variables here. So I'm going to put in here variables. And the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to type in private int. And I'm going to call this one the board. And what this is going to be a 10 by 10 board, and it's going to keep track of where all the pieces are in the board. We're going to have to set all those particular values to 0. By the way, listener is spelled wrong. That's why it doesn't like it. All right, so board is equal to new int, and that's 10 by 10. So that's how this particular board is going to be created. It's going to be fine. And it is a 2D array, so we do need to have two brackets there. Good. Now we are going to set all those values to 0. By default, they are 0, so we're okay. If we have to set any of them to like a 1 or a 2 to distinguish if it actually has a piece in it, that would be something that we need to add later down the road. So we'll keep that kind of open-minded there. We're going to do some paint graphics here. And inside of these paint graphics, you're going to, instead of having that, we are going to do, first off, we're going to make the lines of the board, and we're going to make those every 50 pixels. So we're going to do for int I is equal to 0, while I is less than 10, I plus plus. So this will give us the horizontal ones, but we also want the vertical ones, and we'll draw those as well. So we're going to do g.drawLine, and we are going to start it off at I times 50. Always start off at 0, and we are going to go 500 pixels. And we're going to do the y as 1. So we're going to make sure that this is drawing correctly, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, so we do have to be careful with it. So let's see. Okay, it looks like we drove them all that way, so that's not how we wanted it. We wanted 1 and 500, so we'll just reverse those and run it again. And it looks like we started everything off at 0, so we have 0 here. Oh, the lines aren't at a height and width. They are a x and y, x1, x1, y1, x2, y2. So the way we have to do this is we put that at 500, and yeah, put it at 550. So we're going to go all the way to the edge, and we'll just do I times 50 as well. It's been a very long time since I've done lines opposed to rectangles, and now that looks fine. So we're going to do this again, but this time we are going to be using y. So and we're going to be changing that. So I'm going to just reverse these for a second. And the easiest way of doing that is just by putting a 0 here, and put in a comma, and that will change the I times 50 into the y category, so it moves down, and it kind of shifts everything over. So we'll check to see if that all works out fine, but it should. Perfect. Now it looks like it does go a little bit too far. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's fine. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that should be fine too. It just looks like it goes a little one too far, but we could fix that later. So now that we have this drawn, what we want to do is we want to see if we go into any of these cells, and if they are equal to 1, we draw a circle. All right. So we're going to make sure that we're okay there. So we're going to do for int I is equal to 0, while I is less than 10, I plus plus, so that's our first for loop. And since we're dealing with a 2D array, we're going to use a second one in here. So j is less than 10, j plus plus. And then we are going to do if board ij is not equal to 0, then what we're going to do is we're going to do g dot fill oval. We're going to do I times 50, j times 50, and we'll make our width 45, just slightly smaller then what's in between. And what we'll do is we'll do a +2 to get this off of the wall. +2, +2. Let's see how this looks. Oops. We won't know how it looks. You know why? Because we didn't do anything for clicking. So if we do mouse pressed, we do board e.get x divided by 50. And then we're going to do the same thing, e.get y divided by 50, and we're going to set it equal to 1. Now, we do have to be careful on this because if we click out of bounds, it's going to cause a huge mess. I'm going to show you how to make it both ways, so we'll talk about that in a second. So right now, it's not going to do anything because I didn't do repaint, so let's do that too. Repaint, and now let's run this. And I think we're about done. I'm hitting the 11-minute mark, which I don't like doing. All right, so we're going to click there. Good. And it looks like it is clicking and putting dots wherever I want. So this is great news. So this is where we are at the end of video 1, where we can click and something shows up. Now, next time what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 players out of this. And then we will start actually starting to keep rules and whatnot. Now, I did promise you guys what happens if I click out of bounds, like right here. You're going to see some errors that say you went out of bounds. So we're going to have to fix all that when we get back. So anyway, good luck, everyone. I hope you guys can get this, and I'm sure you guys can. All right. I hope you can use this as notes too. Goodbye.